Hello and welcome to the Items and Abilities Guide. In this video we're going to look at Genji's utilities. So what I'll do, I'll work my way down this box and then go left to right in the items. So start off with Genji's movement and his jump. So Genji's a bug, he's kind of like a caterpillar. He takes a little while to get running, so his acceleration a little bit slow. He can move a decent speed. And he's got a nice jump to him. So he may be slow. He's really slow to get going, but his jump allows him to be able to dodge attacks fairly well, perhaps better than the other support Awesomenauts. So there's that to take into consideration. And what's unique about Genji, where Voltar has a descending hover, where you can fly, Genji has an ascending hover. However, it doesn't last infinitely. Like Voltar's hover can be reapplied, or Yuri's is infinite. For Genji, it only lasts for a short while, then it wears off. I can't reapply it again. There is a set amount of time and then it wears off. So I can reapply that way, but there's a timer that keeps adding up to this set amount of time, and that's when I can't use it again until I hit the ground. So with that set in mind, you can kind of hover like that. You can really add all the control you want to it within that time frame. So rather than staying down here, being behind your droids or allies, if there's an attack that compares all you and everyone in front of you, instead of doing that, this isn't the best place to demonstrate that. Let's say up here, rather than just have a straight line shot and damage everyone, you can either be up here doing damage and make the attacker either attack just you and help your ally stay alive better, or just get out of the way in general. So yeah, Genji has some tactical movement to him, which describes him as tactical. He's a little bit unpredictable in his movement and jump patterns, so he doesn't quite have a pattern unless someone is just holding down the button. Simple as that. So rather than just running down a lane, you will be gunned down fairly easily. Just try to use your jumps and use your hover, your flying, temporary flying. You're just a caterpillar after all, and try to stay alive anyway. Okay, so going down with the stats, 1250, so that's roughly 6 bars of health, and that's my tablet with the calculator on it. So 200 health is about each line. Each bar of health is represented as 200 health, so Genji has about roughly 6 of them. And as time goes on, this is for every Awesomenaut, you naturally grow 3% onto your health. So it doesn't sound like a whole lot. It's more effective against more beefier characters, obviously, but everybody has this. You grow 3% for 15 minutes. Every 90 seconds you have 3%. So after the 15-minute mark, you have 30% more health, which will be, in total, 1,700 health. So if you don't think 1250 is a lot, after 15 minutes, you will have 1,700. I'm only at roughly 5 minutes, so I don't have a whole lot more. It's not exactly 6, looks like 7 by the looks of it. So I think it's roughly 40 you get every 90 seconds, so it does add up a little bit as time goes on. And everyone can naturally regenerate 600 health per minute. That's 10 health a second, I believe, which is 1 in the old stats. In 2.7, everything, the damage and health got multiplied by 10. So if you want to regenerate a bar of health, it's going to take you 20 seconds, and as it says, 600 health, 20 seconds per bar of health, 600. That seems to be logical. For my mind, I need to make it obvious for my left part of the brain to comprehend it. So yeah, so it kind of helps with damage over time, or if you just can't find health pickups, critters, or literal pickups, what have you. So you're not entirely screwed if you just cannot or are choosing not to pick up health. You can get a little bit of health back if you are patient or just not being attacked. And like every Awesomenaut, a lot of these stats for every Awesomenaut, so do bear that in mind. Everybody gets 235 solar when they fall from the drop pod. From that point forward, you gotta collect on the way down, gather around in the environment, or help or get kills. Bear that in mind. And everybody can get paid 30 solar per minute, 1 solar per 2 seconds, something like that. As long as you are alive and existing, as you can see, my solar count is slowly going up. So it seems to be every 2 seconds it goes up, because I'm getting paid 30 solar per minute. If you're dead, you don't get paid, but as long as you are alive somewhere on the battlefield and breathing, you will get paid. So even if you're not able to, if your allies are taking all the money, or you're having a hard time just getting paid, if you and your team is not being able to get any kills, you will make some money. It's not like you won't get paid at all. It's just there to help you make a little bit of money back, at the very least. So I did describe the tactical movement aspect, and Genji's height is 2.2, whatever that means. So he is a little bit short, maybe average size, I don't know everybody's height off the top of my head. But where he might be able to be easy to hit, depends on the attack. He's got a pretty quick jump to him in comparison to the other two support characters. So as long as you are able to predict your opponent's movement, you can be quite versatile with Genji. He just takes a little bit of practice. Also, do bear in mind 2.7.4 as of recording. He slides around quite a bit, so do bear that in mind. He takes a little while to accelerate, if I haven't discussed that already. So it takes a little while to get going. However, when he jumps, it doesn't seem to really take into effect. It's only when he's walking the acceleration gets calculated. But if you just jump and move, it doesn't seem to really exist. Whereas like that, yeah. So if you want to move around, perhaps jumping would be the best course of options. So I will look at and show you each of the items. So Power Pills Turbo can be bought 3 times, 130 solar each time, adds 12% to your maximum health. What it means by maximum health is that it only adds to the starting health, not what you currently have right now. Where I was talking about, you naturally grow health, so on and so forth, or what your current max health is, say from this item. It doesn't add 12% to what your current max health is. You can't wait 15 minutes and then buy it to get the maximum percentage, or buy this, wait 15 minutes and then do that. You can't do that. Doesn't seem to work that way as far as I can tell. So a lot of things you really have to dig into to know specifically. But so it's just 12% to your 1250. That's all it is. So what is 12% of 1250? 150. So it's not like this is more effective. It's actually just the same as this. It's just this is more pricier, but this can be applied to your allies. And I talk about this in the Monarch Blessings abilities guide. So if you want to know more about that, go ahead, watch that video. I would just try to stay down in this belt. So each upgrade will give you 150 more maximum health. So 150 is roughly a bar of health. So our time has gone on. It's been about 10 minutes. So I got a decent amount there. It's going to be about roughly a bar of health there, which will be 1400 health if we were to go from the very beginning. However it is, after 10 minute mark, I will edit that in, whatever it is at this time. So that's how it is when I buy it once. If I buy it twice, plus 24%, which will be 300, will be 1550 health. So if I do that, this line here, this is how much health I'm missing. That's from buying the max amount of health. So I went and clicked that again twice accidentally. So 1550 from 2 upgrades, and from 3 upgrades, it will be 1700 health. So that's not too bad, really. It's not as much as you would get from a tank character, but you're getting more health. So it's a little hard to argue with, and it's just as effective as the spiritual cooking is. It's the same amount of health that you're getting. So it's not like this is just a cheaper end. So do bear that in mind. This one can be applied to you and your allies as well. So that's how much health you get, and you get 1625 health after 30% has been calculated into it, and then you can add power pills to it. Just the percentage is added to the base health, that 1250. So do remember that. In order to give a decent demonstration of this item, I'm going to look at the regeneration rates. So the Medican can be about twice 90 solar each time. Adds 700 health per minute to your regeneration rate. So remember that your base regeneration is 600 health per minute. So you can add 700 to that per upgrade. So I will show the regeneration by itself, which should theoretically be 3 bars of health per minute. So I'll get some health from my lovely assistant here. And roughly so. So I got about a bar of health. I'll wait a minute and see how much health I've regenerated. The stats appear to be correct. Now to better demonstrate this, I'm going to buy one upgrade, so 600 plus 700 should be 1300 health regenerated per minute. 21.6 health back per minute. So it's a little bit more than doubled, obviously, so I will take some more damage. And 1300 should be about 7 bars of health back, something like that. Yeah. So we'll have a look in a minute. So I believe a minute has passed, and I pretty much got my health back. So we're regenerating 1300 health per minute. If I were to do this at the very beginning of the match, then I would have my health regenerated pretty much. But as time goes on, and as people's damage increases, the Medican could be less effective, but then again, if damage over time is a concern, or just trying to get health is a concern, just one upgrade, it's not too bad. It doubles your regeneration pretty much, and you can buy another one to triple that. So, what I'm going to do it again, so 1400 plus 600, 1600, 1400 plus 600 is 2000 health per minute, so that should be about 10 bars of health. So just to make it a little bit more clear, I'm going to buy power pills, max them out, just to make it more clear on how much health I am regenerating. So theoretically I should have 10 bars of health. I'm going to get my injection here. There we go. So about that much, so I should have 10 bars of health within the minute. So yeah, roughly a minute's gone by, and I should have 10 bars of health back, and I pretty much got all my health regenerated in less than a minute. So it can work out quite well, as long as you're not taking too much damage all the time. You can fight off some damage quite a bit, but if you have periods where you're not taking any damage, it can complement sustainability or other sources of healing, especially this, or just this to make yourself not rely on healing so much. Depends what you want to go for. It can benefit an aggressive player or somebody who is just trying to avoid death at all costs. So especially for a supportive player like myself. So it depends on what items you want to buy. You can only have 3 items per belt. So you have to decide what items you're going to reserve, so to speak. So that's how the regeneration rates go, and that's how the Medican works. Once for 135 solar. And it says increases movement by 1, so I believe this has gone down a little bit since 2.7 first came out. As a 2.7.4, it's gone down a little bit. I think it was 1.5 or so like that. So to demonstrate Genji's speed and the speed difference the boots will make, I've eliminated turrets to kind of make this runway to show how fast Genji can travel from this part of the map to the other part of the map. Same thing. So do take Genji's acceleration into mind. So I'll put a timer into how long it's taking for me to travel from here over to the wall that I will run into on the other side of the map. So about that long, and I'll get a head start by flying, so that removes the acceleration aspect of it. So I should be able to get a little faster time by skipping that acceleration bit of it. So I'll keep my time saved somewhere. I'll do the part of that editing. So we'll add the movement speed plus. So how is it now? So acceleration has gone down a little bit, and I am traveling quite a bit faster. This is apparently just adding 1 to my movement speed. So let's see how it works when I get a literal jump start. Make our way across. I don't know if I'll fast forward this part or not, but not too bad of a time. So as you can see, it helps Genji with, if you're in that dying lot or just trying to escape from people better, certainly something you want to get. And if you find yourself getting a running start rather than a jump start, you may want to get that because that acceleration can be a killer. So it depends on what your situation is and how you can adapt to it. Okay, next item, the Race Stone. 155 solar. When you kill a critter, these guys over here, commonly known as creeps, instead of the 250 solar you get, you will get another 200 solar tacked onto that. So for the purpose of testing and demonstrating, I will get as much health as I can give myself, just to kind of make it show a bit better how everything works. So once I get that Race Stone, when I kill a critter, I get 200 and an extra 250. So that's not too bad. If you find yourself running through a jungle often, or you find yourself needing to kill critters often to get back health, certainly something you want to get to, certainly in the support aspect, so you only have to kill one critter, where you might have to kill two to get a decent amount of health back. So it's more efficient, surely, or if you kill all of them, you'll get a lot of health back. Almost double, pretty much. So you can have one for you and have one for your allies and heal them, kind of like that. So for supports, it depends on how often you go through jungle. For Genji, I find myself, I haven't bought this yet in the actual game, because I buy other healing items and do that instead. But I can certainly see it being used in a situation, but highly situational. Does it work on the health pickups? I don't believe it does. Let me just have a look here. No, it doesn't do anything for health pickups, and I kind of scatter around just in case. Doesn't change that at all, and it doesn't matter on solar boss because you get all your health refilled when you kill him. So as for that, so if you got all your health maxed out, it doesn't matter then. You get that 250 plus that 200. So the 200 appears to be instantaneous. So where the critter's health transfers to you, you get that 200 by killing them. Same way as you get paid for killing an Awesomenauts. So there have been times where I've killed a critter, but I died just before the health got to me. So the health you get from this item is instant, it appears. So that could be something you might want to get if you want that instant healing. So yeah, it's very situational. For Genji, no, I haven't really haven't needed for it. Depends on if you need that instant healing and if you need that extra healing. If you don't need anything else more than the other in this belt. Okay, this one's pretty obvious. Piggy bank, it's free. You get 133 solar. So you can either get this anytime you want. A lot of people prefer to get it at the beginning of the match. Fairly straightforward if you need that. If you need a quick payout, and if you're willing to give up a space on your belt, you can you can certainly do that. That's really the only bad thing about it. It takes up the spot, so if you can't wait, or if you're dying too much, or we just want to hit start, that's what the Piggy Bank's for. Alright, this item is a little bit hard to describe because there's not a lot of data about it, and it's difficult for me to test it out because I can't find a bot that applies debuffs. Divinity and Spike Bud hasn't been appearing for me for the past 10 minutes. I've been retrying bot match and I just cannot find them, so I do apologize. I'll try to explain this item through this one here because I believe this appears to be the only item that applies a debuff to enemies. Doesn't count for allies. So what it is, the Baby Carrier Mammoth can be bought twice, 110 solar each time. It seems to reduce every debuff except the knockback debuff, and that's because those jump pads, they apply a knockback debuff. So if I were to have a reduction, I wouldn't be able to fly as far, so I don't think that's why it's on this list. So slow, stun, snare, silence, blind, amplified damage. Amplified damage is that yellow shield above your head when it breaks. I think Penny can do it, and some other people can do it as well. So I'll try to explain it through this item. When you hit somebody with this item, they're slowed down by 20%, and they're slowed for 2 seconds. So if I recall correctly, I've only used this once as Genji, and I never used it to counter a Genji. It was to counter a Clunk. And from my memory of it, he was using his snare and trying to slow me at the same time. So the snare was reduced, and the slow was reduced too. Like, I believe the percentage is reduced by 25% or 50%. So you can reduce it by half, and I believe the duration as well. So you can do it by down to 1.5 or down to 1. So I think it's 15% and then 10%. Like, I'm trying to... It's probably that simple. But if you find yourself getting caught in snares a lot, especially Scoop or Clunk, whenever I play Clunk who really utilizes snares or slows, that's when I seem to use against him. However, just whatever debuff you're getting hit by, whatever item it is, just calculate that percentage, 25%. I think it affects duration as well. However, it only calculates per effect. Like, if you're getting continuously affected, it's not really going to do anything. Time Rift, I don't think it's going to work as well, if at all, because it only counts per one hit. If you're getting hit all the time, it's going to reset. I think it goes all the time. So I do apologize for not having a lot of info on it, but not a lot of people use it. That's the truth. Perhaps if there was a better reason to get it, I would have more data on it. But it's the middle of the night and everybody else is not on. So I can't really test this out with anybody. So I do apologize for that. And who the hell wants to test out this item here? Not a lot of people like it. A lot of people just prefer to get this item, either this or this. Those are the hot three. And especially for Genji, I tend to get this, and usually this, sometimes that. And then whatever else I get. So I hope that was of use to you. And if these items change in any way, I will do an updated version of those. So, thanks very much for watching.